like even some people in my family and my own biological sister, they have some problems. They have some problems, but my mom has accepted and others have accepted. So it's a true love story. So normally people tend to be against it, but I value Anna more than anyone else. So I'm ready to disown
Yeah.
people if they
Oh,
don't agree to our
it
relationship.
is it is your life, and I understand. Yes, you have to do what's right for your soul.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
like Anna has taught me to lead a selfless, purpose-driven life, and I feel that is more relevant and to the society, for the betterment of the society, than
Yeah.
leading a life being selfish and having goals just for your family. And I feel that's a life wasted.
That
So
sounds so
the
beautiful.
whole motivation to start an organization for women empowerment with the theme of child poverty alleviation was Anna's mission statement, and even global peace and global trade balance, and all those things are kind of good thoughts, noble thoughts of Anna. And she even talks about the usage of the prefrontal cortex to avoid any kind of
Oh,
tribalism and groupism, because groupism and tribalism is part of a DNA. So make is like that. But if we use proper use of a prefrontal cortex, we could have the proper skills to avoid any kind of groupism and tribalism. So this particular journey, this particular honeymoon trip to African Great Lakes and the origin of life is going to be very crucial and very essential in this aspect of avoiding all groupism and tribalism, because we are all from the same origin. We are all from the same modern Homo sapiens
yes.
who originated from Africa. So the out of Africa migration is going to hold true, and the gene equality theory is going to hold true, and there is no need for any tribalism and groupism. So Anna's thoughts is the motivator for this trip.
I love it. My gosh. It's just so beautiful. She sounds amazing.
She sounds amazing. Yeah.
What a gift that
and
you
and
you found each
you
other.
will never find a person, you'll never find a person who tries to denigrate herself
Uh-huh. How
denigrate herself in public
uh,
denigrate herself in public just for my welfare, or just for my ex-wife's welfare, in terms of being empathetic. So you never find anyone doing that. And your denigration not in terms of some so minor trivial things or something. Denigration in terms of character, denigration in terms of sexual discipline. She can go to that extent for the welfare of the people whom she loves. So that is what I love. That is
has such a
pure soul,
beautiful
and
heart.
that's the naked, the best naked soul you could ever meet. So the purity is not in body. Purity is in thoughts and actions. So I found it in Anna. So I find her more precious than anyone else. Yeah, even my
She's
parents.
she sounds
So that is
like a
why I can do
gem.
anything and everything for her. I can go against my family. I can disown my family. I can starve to death. Whatever circumstances. These are kind of sweet struggles, you could say. So
Yeah.
sweet struggles. So
How did
yeah,
you two
everything's going.
meet? How were you introduced to her?
It's all online.
Ah, as so many things are now.
So I'll tell you, like it's not that I just met her by accident or something, because souls don't meet by accident.
Yes, I agree. I agree.
And also, if you go by good characteristics, or the algorithms of the YouTube, or some algorithms which made me to find her, it is not the case, because there were similar personalities present. It's not that Anna was the only personality from Moldova having similar characteristics and similar work profile and YouTube profile, or the social profile. There were similar personalities, there were similar recommendations, but we are destined, souls don't meet by accident, and I feel it's an eternal bond. And there were many distractions against her, like in the sense, a lot of pressure from my work place, a lot of pressure from the cops, a lot of pressure from the neighborhood, a lot of pressure from my family. In fact, I was fired 4 times.
Oh,
I was fired 4 times in the past year. just because I love Anna.
Oh,
So that's good.
it's
That goes to
true
show that
love then.
yeah, this is
You would
that goes to
also
show
do anything for her and she for
that goes
you.
to show that we are destined for
Is she in
for each other.
Moldova?
And also she got and she lost a job because of me, and she has done that. So I owe her. She is my responsibility, and I am bringing her pretty soon.
Is she in Moldova now?
She's in Moldova. She was in a very good position in
Is she okay though? Because
Dublin,
I know
Ireland.
that's very close to Ukraine, right?
Yeah, yeah. She that's also a problem. So that is the reason I am trying for global peace, not only for the sake of humanity, but also for the sake of Moldova and the family of Anna. And
I hope she can come out to you soon. And
yeah, yeah. So there is an
will you guys
appointment.
live here in the States?
Yeah, there's an appointment as soon as October 17th for the US Embassy in Moldova, in Kishinev. So if everything goes fine, by the end of this October, she could be here along with her mom. So I'm just looking at some insurance codes and stuff like that
Yeah.
for visitors
Well,
and
that's great. That's such a good start. Okay, well,
yeah.
I'm
Okay,
wishing
fine, fine.
you
Let's
I
not
wish you the best.
situation.
I hope that comes to fruition.
Yeah, yeah,
Um,
I just wanted to relate what happened over the week and
good.
just to
I love it. I love it. Well,
and I hope you got the invitation. I sent in a
I
mail as well.
did. I'm so sorry. I haven't had a chance to look at it yet. It's been a little busy over here,
Okay.
but I
It has
will
all
take a
the
look.
it has
I'm
all the
so
story.
honored. Thank
It has a
you.
it has a storyline in terms of pictures and in terms of words, so you could have a look. Yeah,
I will take a closer look. I was very honored to receive it, and I'm very excited to learn more about the two of you and this wonderful future you're building.
yeah,
Um, but well, maybe we can talk about the
yeah,
honeymoon, the
definitely.
first step
Mhm.
of your future lives together. So, do you happen to have the itinerary up in front of you?
Yeah, I'll open it. Yeah, one
Okay,
moment.
I could also maybe figure out how to share my screen if need be. But um, let's see, there should be a nice, beautiful leopard staring off into the distance nearby you, in front of
Mhm.
you.
No, we
And
go Springboard. One moment.
yeah, that's the first page.
One moment. I'll just go to yeah. Oh, this is the meeting request. My third one. Yes.
Did you
Yeah.
have an
Yeah, I've
opportunity
opened it.
to
I've opened
take?
it. So I'll just click to view the itinerary. Mm.
Perfect. So did you have a chance to skim through it at all in the last day? I know I didn't give
Yeah,
you much
I did
time.
skim through, but I would like to hear it from you
Sure.
because you are more
Perfect.
knowledgeable in. Okay,
Well,
59.
so first of all, the very first page when you click into the itinerary is a general overview,
Yeah.
and so you'll see if you scroll down a bit a list of the dates that I've tentatively gone with these dates for you to arrive. We'll start there on March 6th because the rooms at all the hotels are available over these dates.
Mm-hmm.
If that doesn't work for you, we can check some other options, but I can confirm this all lines up perfectly for the hotel space. Uh, so anyway, let's move on, and
Yeah,
then
let's go
if
to
you
the
want to change the dates, we can do that later.
yeah.
Excuse me, got a little dust in my throat. So the just a general quick overview, you would start in South Africa and you can
Mhm.
see there the list of the hotels. So I've begun with 3 nights in Cape Town, and then you go on to Zimbabwe to see Victoria Falls, and then you'll make your way up to Tanzania. And on your way to Tanzania, there are a few flights that require an overnight in Kenya, in Nairobi. And you'll see I've taken full advantage of that time to give you some good extra things to do and explore. And then you'll arrive in Arusha relatively late in the evening for a couple nights there to start. And then you'll progress through the itinerary in Tanzania, ending at the beach. If you scroll down further, there's just some photos, but I think what we should do is click onto the next
Okay.
tab.
Okay. One moment. Let's share our screens so that we will be
So
on
sure,
par with
yeah,
what we
yeah.
are
Let
speaking.
let me share this.
Either you share or I'll share. Yeah.
I'll share for you. Right button. I hope you can see now. I've got your itinerary right here. I'll just go back to the beginning. Do you
Yeah.
see the, okay, great. So as I was saying, if you, there's a lot of information here, but we'll do a quick overview. This was that section I was talking about where it's possible to click on each of these links and learn about each of the properties, and click here to see the different regions. And this is
Okay.
just,
Let's say
but
like
let's
6th
dive
March.
in.
Yeah,
Oh, sorry,
6th
go ahead.
March. 6th March, we are in Cape Town. So you said it takes 3 nights to reach Victoria Falls through a train ride. So how are we going from Cape Town to Victoria Falls?
I did not include a train for now,
Mhm.
because I believe after we spoke, it was going to be too much time and too much expense. So right now, if you look over here, you can see the quick details. This is a 16-day trip as is,
Mhm.
and we are at just under $12,000 per person on the price. So I think it would be a good plan to chat through this, and
Mhm.
then if we need to make some changes, I can
Mhm.
explain how that would work. But to start,
Mhm.
I want to tell you about these different destinations, and then
Fine, fine. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
how we connect them.
Mhm.
We can, but up here you see there's this tabs of different information. So the destination tab, I won't read through it, but it just goes over each of the different places that you are including in the trip. And then there's also accommodations. So we could theoretically, if you want, click through and look at each lodge. There's information about all the properties features, and that the air conditioning, or what's in the rooms, different details about the restaurants. You come down to your safari property, it even has, details about all of the different activities that you can do during your stay. So there's a ton of detail here. Um,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
but to keep it a little more high
So okay,
level,
okay, I'll come to the main point. Like, what is missing from the 8 points which we had, or what is added to the 8 points which we spoke? So that is the only thing. So this is very informative. I
yes.
can skim through,
Well,
but
well,
just
bear
tell
with
me the
me.
delta. Yeah,
Yeah, bear with me. And so here we've got the detail of the trip, and I'll just walk you through it.
yeah, yeah.
Everything that you asked for is
Mm.
included.
Right.
So that's good. We've got a good start. So the very first day, most international flights come in the evening. So I didn't plan any activities for you today, but if you come in early, we can change that. Just for now, you'll come in. We'll help you get through customs and immigration. We'll transfer you privately to your hotel, and then you'll relax for the night and just get over jet lag and the super long flights that are going to get you down here. The very next day, you'll set out with a private guide and a private vehicle, and you'll do a tour of Cape Town City. On the tour, you'll also come up and take a cable car ride that rides up to the top of Table Mountain. So you'll explore up on above, get in the views. You'll have a chance to see all the top highlights. There's some cathedrals, there's gardens, there's really interesting walking streets. It's an amazing place for modern culture and culinary exploration. And your guide will sort of wander through the city with you. And he is an expert local, um, a phenomenal tour guide who can give you an amazing narrative, insight, interesting conversation. He'll talk about the art and the local history and give you a really comprehensive, informative experience. As curious as you are, if you ask a lot of questions, it'll be a much more exciting day. And it's of course we have some set things we expect you to do, but the day will unfold as you want it to with your guide. He'll move with you fluidly through the day with a general plan, and then set everything up as you go. So, if you want to stop and get some food, or if you would like to look at the museum a little bit longer, or you want to spend some more times in the gardens, all of it will be catered and customized for you.
So okay, Cape Town is also one of the capitals, right? There are three capitals of South Africa. One is Pretoria, Johannesburg, and Cape Town, right?
Yes, so Cape Town is definitely the most beautiful. You're
Mhm.
right on the water here. You can see all the views. It's stunning.
Okay, the Parliament is in Cape Town. That's pretty interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So you'll have a chance to explore all of that. And I would say one day will be plenty for city exploration. The next day, you'll go on a bit of a short day road trip,
Mm.
and you'll make your way along the coast
Okay,
south
Cape of
to
Good Hope.
Cape
Yeah.
Peninsula. Yes. And along the way, you'll be stopping at little towns, fishing villages, getting a bite to eat. You'll see more
So
of that interesting surfing culture and fisherman culture. You'll visit the penguins.
okay,
You'll
the
get your
penguins.
photo taken down here. There's so much to
Okay,
see.
the penguins are there all around, or
They are there all year round, yes. And the beach where they live is called Boulders.
mhm, mhm.
And there's
So
there's actually beaches all along the shore here. And so depending on the day and how busy it is, your guide will either, again, it's a private guide, private tour, so the day is at your pace. He can stop here with you at the main beach where all the tourists go, or if it seems really busy, he knows some secret spots where you can actually go around the corner and get even better access to see the penguins away from the crowds. The way that it works is the beach has a wooden walkway on top of it, so you can't actually walk on the sand with the beach penguins. It protects the penguins,
so
of course. So there's viewing platforms, and you take photos, but the nearby beaches you can get out on the sand. So the guide will set that all up for you.
I was curious, like, is the temperature is the temperature of Cape Town a temperate climate? Is it cold, or it's like a warm place?
It's a temperate climate. It's similar to places like the San Francisco Bay Area, if you've ever been
Okay.
there. So the whole of the Cape area, it never gets really cold. It never snows or anything like that. In
Okay.
March, you're coming into the fall, so it should still be very sunny and warm. Definitely, you can get clouds and winds because it's a coastal, you're right off the ocean. It really depends on what's happening out in the open sea. But they get fog, and then when it clears, the sun and temperatures are quite warm. So you could probably expect 70s during the daytime, and
So
at night
how are they
maybe
maintaining?
50s.
Yeah, how
Pardon?
are they maintaining the penguins? Are they cooling them artificially, or because
No,
they
no,
don't?
no, totally wild. There's nothing, humans do nothing to them except
Okay.
maybe research. These are
Because
wild
I
penguins.
went to Stuttgart Zoo, Wilhelma Zoo in Stuttgart in the summer, and the zookeepers were cooling the penguins artificially because it was quite hot.
Yeah. Yes, this is their natural climate. This is where they are endemic. They live here before and long after humans will be here, hopefully. And no, they are completely wild. The humans do not interact with them at all, which is why when you go, the park has built a walkway to prevent us from walking
Okay.
onto their
Yeah.
land, and prevent us from
Feeding them.
impacting them, yeah, and hurting them, and letting them just live their natural lives. This is very real, very authentic. um yeah.
And I like the color of the sea. It is a
Oh, it's
turquoise blue.
beautiful.
That shows that it's not very deep. It's kind of a shallow
Yeah,
nice.
actually nearby, let's see, Boulders Beach, let me look on that photo for you. Where'd it go? There. Just around these corners, you can see there's homes and people live here, and there's little beaches all along. And in the warm days, you can go swimming, you can go paddle boarding, you can go kayaking, you might even go swimming. And if it's
Surfing.
not, and the penguins could swim right by you. I mean, it's open ocean and it's very wild. And yeah, it's easily accessible. This whole area, this whole coastline is, people and penguins living in harmony. But of course, the public beach that the penguins are breeding and nesting on is, as I said, blocked off to protect them.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
It's amazing. You're gonna love it. Yeah, so it's a pretty long day. It takes about 9 hours to do the whole experience, plus or minus. To drive out to here, there's a lighthouse right at the end, and a little funicular ride that you can take and hike up. And you'll probably be. Let's see if I can get a photo here. Where is it? Keep a Good Hope. Okay, I guess there's no more photos in my presentation. Sorry, but you'll see there's a viewing area, and this rock right here is more like over this area, just down on this cliff area. So you'll be kind of down here, and as close to the edge as you can get, really. So it's an awesome day, and then you end on your way back. You'll be stopping at the local gardens and getting to do a little bit of nature immersion in town, which is as you can see, gorgeous.
This is awesome. This is awesome. Like I never expected such a place in the southern part of Africa. Maybe I'm wrong. Like it is in the kind of the Antarctic kind of zone. Not very.
Yeah, here, let me show you a map of where we're
Yeah, yeah,
talking
ma'am. Yeah,
about.
where are we talking about? Like I don't have a good idea of how far
Africa's
it is.
amazing. It's so enormous. And yeah, so this is where your whole trip is
So
is
what is the
spanning. Your
latitude?
trip is spanning a huge part of Africa.
What is
But
the latitude of
oh, good gosh,
Cape
good
Town?
question. Latitude of Cape Town, off the top of my head, I will have for you. See.
Okay, that's fine. If is it okay?
It's
The
quite
the
far south.
equator,
Yeah,
the
it's
equator goes through
33
the
degrees south. So
it
the
go, equator goes through Tanzania, right?
yes, so the equator is right
Oh, no,
here.
no, 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 that's here. Okay,
Yeah,
yeah,
so the
that's what.
equator's up here, and you'll be crossing it during the latter part of your trip. But right now, for reference, you are about as south as you can go in Australia. You're quite far south compared to
So
Chile,
on par
Argentina.
with Tasmania. So it's on par
Yes.
with Tasmania. So the you'll have the Tasmanian kind of.
Yeah, it's maybe a little bit further north than Tasmania, but yes,
Okay.
it's quite far south. And so your international flights will likely transfer through Johannesburg. So you
Mhm.
may arrive Johannesburg from the U.S. and then fly to Cape Town,
Mhm.
or come straight into Cape Town from the U.S.
Can I just do zoom out a bit?
Yeah,
I want to see the complete how much we are covering. How? Oh, it's almost half of Africa.
yeah, it's a lot. Yes, you'll be stopping here in the middle, down here south, and then up in the eastern part. And these are
The most
real.
beautiful parts of
Yes,
Africa.
they
Yeah, yeah.
are for sure the most beautiful parts. Of course, there are very interesting things to see all over, but given the amount of time you have and what you're interested in, this is absolutely what I
Wonderful.
suggest. Yeah, definitely. So what we're talking about right now is, again, you're coming into up to here, and then you're making your way south to this point down here is
Mhm.
where you're going. And the penguins and everything, oh, sorry, is right along here. This is where the penguins live. You're
Mhm.
in the False Bay area.
Wait, this
In
is this is exactly like the Bay Area of San Francisco. Okay.
Yeah, it's super similar. And this whole area is stunning. And then you've got the wine country is all inland a bit.
Oh, that's
This
one
is
can.
the main part of Cape Town City. All along the coast here is where you're going to spend most of your time, because this is very, you know, big
A
big
kind of Napa
cities and
Valley of
residentials. Yeah, exactly. And then the like Napa Valley is in this area. Um, and then yeah, so you'll explore this whole area. And out in the ocean, um, you have, of course, there's lots of sharks and things.
Africa.
Um,
I don't know swimming, by the way.
yes, well, you can go swimming, but
No, Anna knows swimming. I don't know swimming.
yeah,
I just watch it.
yeah, you're going to be a little late for. You unfortunately won't be there for whale season, but they do sometimes get whales and things like that. Orcas are around here at some times of year. So you never know. You always look out into the sea. You might see something. Usually they'll have started traveling further north come March, but you never know. There could be a couple
Okay,
still around.
it's good that we skipped the train ride. You know why?
It's
Because
a long way.
the route is very dry.
Yeah,
See, the
it's a,
route to Victoria Falls, it's pretty dry, except for the southern
yes,
part.
you can see it's pretty barren, I think.
So it won't be fun going in a train. Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, after you finish this day, you'll come back to your hotel for a night, and then that would be the end of your time in Cape Town. If you
Yeah, that's awesome.
wanted,
So the 3 nights is pretty awesome. So I
yeah.
thought Cape Town is a bit kind of hot place. I think this looks
No,
very cool.
it's
Yeah,
very comfortable temperatures, and it's not very humid.
yeah.
I mean, it's of course they get fog and rain, so it could be humid
No,
a
no, no.
little bit. It's not like
Bay
a
Area.
heat humid.
No, no.
Yeah.
Bay areas are normally not humid. The same goes to Vancouver or San
Yes.
Francisco. Yeah.
Similarly, yes. Um, so if you wanted, you could add some time in Cape Town. I didn't include the wine country because I believe the two of you do not drink, and
Yeah.
I
No, no, no.
thought,
Anna drinks. Yeah, Anna drinks.
okay, well, we could add a day to go do the wine country, but for now, I
We'll
thought
just
that might be
adjust it
enough.
later. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
No, she's very good. She's very good in giving us knowledge about various kinds of drinks, and she's very good. She's a
Oh, great.
social drinker. Yeah.
Okay, great. So then the next thing will happen is you will fly.
Mm,
The very next morning, we'll transfer you back to the Cape Town International
mm,
Airport,
mm,
and the the flights between the countries, those international flights, I'm not able to arrange those for you, so
mhm.
they're not included. I just want to point that out.
So we
We
are
can
not fine.
we can help you find the right flights
Mm,
and connect you to a travel agent, a booking agency if you need help. But
mm.
just note, international air is not included. So you will then fly
So
from
no,
Cape Town.
international air in the sense from
From
between countries in Africa, or
yes,
okay,
yes.
fine.
So you're going to say goodbye to South Africa, and you are going to get on an international flight
Mm.
for Victoria Falls, Zimbabwe. When you arrive in Zimbabwe, it's a whole new country, so you're going to get a visa when you get there, which you just get on arrival. And you'll notice immediately that it feels like a completely different country. The
No, but
culture, the people, it's different.
is Victoria Falls in Zambia or Zimbabwe?
Let me show you.
Okay, yeah, yeah, you are the expert again.
Yeah, I'll show you. So you can see you've got this river coming through
So it's at
here.
the border.
This is
Okay,
the
fine. Mm.
Zambezi River. I'm sorry, this pop up. And the falls are right there where that star is in the middle. And on the southern part of the river is Zimbabwe.
Fine.
The northern part
This is Zambia.
is Zambia.
Mm.
So if we go even further in, you can see this is where the waterfalls are. And amazingly, you can see it from space like that, right?
Okay, God also does copy paste. So
Yeah,
Niagara, the border between US and Canada, and
the same thing, right?
Victoria.
So you can see the border here between Zimbabwe and Zambia splits right through the middle of the river,
Mm,
and it comes down and zigzags this way.
mm,
So the majority, I'm sorry, this pop-up is driving me nuts. The majority of the falls,
mm.
this huge section of it is on the Zimbabwe side. And then there's a small piece of it on the Zambia side,
Zambia.
which you can view, one can view from
That's fine.
Cape
No,
Town
no, no, we are not
International.
interested in
Yeah.
Zambia. Zimbabwe is more beautiful. Yeah.
Yeah, I think the Zimbabwe side is definitely the more spectacular. You have this huge walkway. You can see these little walking icon there.
Mm.
You can walk all along in
Okay,
front of
this
the falls.
even in the map, this is so enormous. So
Yes,
imagine how
it's huge. It
enormous
takes
the river. Yeah.
this walk takes about an hour to get from one end to the other. If you really walk, you could spend 3 hours there. It's easy to explore,
And
and
it
there's
looks
little
foggy even in the
trails.
map. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
The time of year that you'll be there is perfect because the water, it's the river, of course, is fueled by rain that
Mm,
comes further up to the north here and off into the distance.
mm.
So the rains start coming in sort of
Is there a
November.
skydive near the Victoria Falls?
There is you can do skydive. I think you can do
Okay, those
skydiving.
activities are marked in your itinerary, or
I didn't mark skydiving, but I can add it.
oh yeah, yeah. Because Anna's very interested in skydiving.
And
Uh,
skydiving, you might do actually skydiving. I'm not sure. You might do that in Cape Town. It would be a
Cape
better
Town?
place.
Okay, yeah, that's fine. Anyway,
But they
sky,
do bungee jumping is the thing. Bungee jumping.
bungee jumping
I'm
is
not sure
good.
about I'm not sure about skydiving. I'll have to double check.
Yeah, yeah. I guess Cape Town is bungee jumping, but skydiving, she wanted to do it in Dubai. So, but we can do that later. Now we could do it in Victoria Falls.
Okay. I will see if we can get that for you. I honestly don't know because I have never done it there and I haven't asked. We haven't
So,
had
yeah,
anybody.
is it going to be like skydiving on top of the Victoria Falls or the river? It's going to be
No,
awesome.
no, it would probably be if they
It's
do
not.
it, it would be like somewhere over here. But let's go back to what you're gonna do here.
The helicopter ride is okay. Well,
Yeah, exactly. So the first day you come in, the flight is probably going to be arriving middle of the day.
yeah.
And so what we'll do is we'll take you over to your hotel. First we're going to stop at this beautiful restaurant for you to have lunch. I love this place. If
Mhm.
you can see
Yes,
here, it's
good
got
ambience.
the
Yeah,
most awesome views.
yeah, yeah,
This
God.
is below the waterfall. So the waterfall is off in the distance, and this is underneath the falls. And it's just this gorgeous ravine canyon. and you'll be there. We're planning on a lunch, but they aren't serving dinner right now because of the pandemic.
Mhm.
But if they open for dinner, we might change it for you to get the sunset. But
Mhm.
lunch is awesome. I've been there with live bands playing, and it's just really
Awesome.
cool
Yes.
spot. The lunch itself isn't included because they do like a menu, and we don't want to fix you on we want you to choose what you want to eat. So you would just settle the bill directly, but we've included a stop there because it's so cool. And then that night, the first thing you'll do is the first activity on the river is we'll go out for a sunset river cruise. And you'll get out on the water on the Zambezi River above the falls. You'll be on a boat similar to this one. There's a few different boats that we can check with if you want something different, but you can see this petite size boat is fantastic. There's huge boats too, but I prefer the smaller ones
Smaller ones. Yeah.
because you can get close to the
Closer
animals.
look of the animals. Yeah.
Yes, you can get close to the bank so that you
Mhm.
can see if there's crocodiles on the shore, you can actually get closer to see them.
Okay.
And I would expect you'll see lots of hippo, some crocodile, some amazing birds. This is going to be the start of your safari wildlife adventure.
So where is the Angels Pool?
So Angel's Pool is on the Zambia side.
On the Zambia side. Okay.
Yes, and we can arrange for you to go there. If you want to do that, we would have to add another
A
night,
visa.
another night here.
Another night. Okay.
Yeah.
So I just a picture of the Angel Pool. If you have. Oh, this is fine.
I don't have a picture of it.
Okay, that's fine.
Let
I
me see.
find it out. Okay. Mhm.
I can send you some info though. I just don't have
Mhm.
one available.
So, is river water rafting possible in the Zimbabwe side?
Yes, it is.
It is okay, fine.
And if you want to do any other activities like
Mhm.
that, then we should add one more night here. But you could do river rafting, half day, full day. You can go kayaking, canoeing on the top part of the river up here. There are horseback rides.
Mhm.
There is village visits.
Mhm.
There's bungee jumping,
Mhm.
a swing.
Mhm.
I'll add all this information for you to look through photos and do here.
So kayaking, is it going to be upstream or downstream?
The kayaking is upstream
Upstream.
from the falls. Yeah. The river
Yes.
rafting is below stream,
Mhm.
below the falls. Uh, okay, and so you would do this, and then the very next morning you
Go to
will
Nairobi.
you'll head to the falls to do a tour along the base of the falls. We can add a helicopter tour if you want, but for now the plan is river cruise, and then come out here for a morning walk along the side of the waterfall to see it, and you'll have a guide who will give you the history and show you all the best lookout spots for the photos. And there's birds and antelope living in here, and you may see baboon as well.
Is
uh,
there a park as well?
this is a
Like
national park.
okay,
Yes,
yeah.
the whole area where you're going to be staying, your hotel is in a national park as
Park.
well.
Mhm.
So on the Zimbabwe side, this whole region is a national park.
National park. Okay.
Yeah, but to keep you moving, for now, the plan is the next day after your falls tour, you'll head back to the airport so that you can connect with your flight to Nairobi. And as again, a reminder again, that flight isn't included. Um, and there is only two flights a week that depart for
So
Nairobi.
we are very careful in planning. So it's
Yes.
good. Like
So I
how
recommend this flight. You'll leave at 6:05 p.m. So you've got the day to explore here. We can add some things for you to do.
how affordable is the flight? International flight.
Yeah, the flight is
Does early booking help?
I mean it's like any other normal
Any other normal?
international
Okay.
flight, let's see. I
So
think we have
Is March off season or in season?
March is technically in Southern California. It's part of the quote green season. And so it's one of the top seasons to be out
Seasons. Okay.
there. Yeah.
Fine. I need not do off season always. Okay. Yeah. At least
But
this is
you're on the edge, so you're right on the edge of the off season. It's not peak. It's not the most expensive time of year. But it's a popular, beautiful time to be there.
time to go. Yeah.
Yeah.
Spring.
So when you arrive in Nairobi, the flight that you would be taking gets in at 9:20 or 10:20 p.m. Sorry if this is a little small. There you go, 10:20 p.m. So we won't do anything. We'll just have you go straight to the hotel. I didn't include dinner because it's quite late, and you'll probably just want to go to sleep and relax. And then the next morning, you are going to set out for a half day tour of Nairobi. And in Nairobi, there's a few things that we highly recommend. So the first one is the Daphne Sheldrick Wildlife Trust, which is an elephant orphanage. And oh gosh, I don't know why my images aren't loading right now. There you go. And there's a public viewing that happens every day. You can see where the guests come and you stand right alongside. There's nothing separating you except for a small, thin rope line. And the elephants, this is a person right here. The elephants walk right up to you, they rub up against you. The
Yeah, I've done
zoo,
that. Yeah, I've done that in Sri Lanka. Yeah.
yeah, so
Yeah,
so these
I've
are
heard. I've even given bath to a elephant in Sri Lanka.
oh, well, these are African elephants. They're
Okay, these
bigger.
are different. Yeah,
They're
yeah.
yeah, and it's amazing. So the keepers here will give you. It's about an hour-long visit. They do a presentation where they're speaking and telling you the story of these animals who have been orphaned, abandoned, their mothers were poached, or they were rescued, and they let them wander around, and it's very
It's an elephant sanctuary.
emotional.
Yeah, it's an elephant sanctuary. Yeah, we
It's
have it in my
very
native
emotional.
place, just a few kilometers from my home. Yeah.
Oh, how wonderful. And then you'll also have a chance to visit the Giraffe Center, which is also a herd of rescued giraffe.
Mhm.
And they now live on this massive property, and it's a huge facility that you can walk around, and they get really close to you. So, you can you can feed them, you can give them a hug. They're right up next to your face. And this isn't the best photo, but it goes up and you're on a platform that wanders and zigzags all around. And so you'll have a chance to visit with the giraffe. There's also some very interesting local culture and history here because Karen Blixen is from this area. If you've ever heard of the movie Out of Africa,
Yeah, yeah, I've heard
um,
it. Mhm.
yeah. So this, and then there's some awesome shopping if you two would like to get some local knickknacks and keepsakes. You'll have a private driver, and he will take you wherever you want to go. And but this is the things we recommend. If you
Mhm.
need to go pick up any supplies or you want to see something in particular, he'll drive you wherever you want.
Mhm.
And then that afternoon, in the evening, you'll head back to the airport so that you can take a quick flight, which is about an hour into Tanzania. And you will
Clearly.
arrive, we'll transfer you over to a hotel, and you'll have the evening to relax. The next day, you'll be picked up by a Kilimanjaro trekking guide, and you'll drive with him, just the two of you again, privately, over to the Shira Plateau of Kilimanjaro, which is essentially way over on
West,
this side.
west side. Yeah, you
Yeah,
told me. Yeah, yeah.
yes, and so the people who are climbing Kilimanjaro to reach the summit, they
Mhm.
start all along the bottom and even around the backside, but the majority of them start right here.
Mhm.
And the reason I'm not having you go here is because it's a forested area.
Mhm.
There are hundreds of people and porters, and it's very dirty, and you cannot see the mountain from there. So instead, you'll come over here to the Shira Plateau side. There will be some people there when you start, but as you get going, it'll feel like you're on a different planet. There, let's see if we the photos we've got. There's going to be, you can see there'll be groups, but you'll get this kind of interesting trees. You'll be right around here. There's sections where it's very bleak like that, but you're walking through a lot of different ecosystems. This is some of the
That-
summits, but yeah, it's stunning. And you'll get a good about 4 or 5 hours hiking at most, or
Oh,
less if
to
you
what
want.
height we will reach?
You will be starting at about 6,000 feet,
Mhm.
and you will climb up to, I want to say around 8,000 at most, though. You start 6,000, sorry, 6,500. You
Mhm.
could be climbing up around 500 to 1,000 feet at most, but your guide can modify that for you, whatever you want.
No,
And
I was just checking on the altitude. It's pretty good. It's
yeah,
similar to
it's
my
it's
native place. Yeah,
it's a great day hike.
it's
And
optimum altitude, not too high, not too low. Yeah.
yes, you may feel a little of the altitude, but if you're coming from sea level, but which you will be down in Cape Town,
So
you'll
it's
have been at
it's a
sea
plateau,
level,
right?
but
Like
but
so.
it's
This
not bad. We don't normally have people with altitude sickness at that height. Most of the time when you get altitude sickness, you're way up here around 19,000.
like yeah, I don't have, but I'm not sure about Anna. But
Yeah.
she's also a trekker, so she might not have, but still on the safer side.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you won't be going too high, so it should be very comfortable. And yeah, the day takes about 5 hours, so you get in around 2 or 3 hours of hiking.
Mm.
You have lunch, a picnic lunch on the mountain. Yeah, it's a beautiful way to see this incredible place.
There's also, so
Um,
it's a kind of a plateau. So it's like
yeah, yeah, a
a
plateau
Tibetan
with
plateau. Yeah,
views of the mountain. There are not a lot of animals here, of course, but that's okay. The focus for today is a good walk, stretch your legs, experience this area. Um,
and quite scenic as well. Yeah,
the following day, then you're gonna head out to
Masai.
you'll have a private driver and a guide again. It'll be a different hiker guide because this day is gonna be a hiking guide, very activity specific. But when you leave for the Ngorongoro crater, from here on out through the rest of your safari, you'll have one guide and one driver who will be with you the whole time. Uh, so he'll pick you up and you'll start driving out to the Ngorongoro Crater region. And on your way, you will stop at a local Maasai village, a boma. And I'm sorry, I don't have any photos of it, but you'll get to experience the local culture, interact with the local people, meet the children, talk to the women, meet the Maasai warriors, who you can see here's a photo of one. And they will be dressed like this and living their very traditional lives. It should be a very special experience. I've had a few guests come home even recently who told me this was unbelievably special, and they just made such great friends with the children and had such a good time. So then, yeah, depending on what time you make it to your hotel, you could also go for a walk around the farm and the village where you're going to be staying. The hotel that I've recommended for you it's a farmhouse. So there's you can see it's beautiful area out here. They've got gardens and lots of food, and the rooms are very comfortable with lovely views. And
That's quite good.
that one's a double, but you'll have a king size bed, one bed. And they do walks, so you can see it's all farm to table. The food is fresh and delicious. Lots of organic and vegetarian options. And yeah, you can go for a dip in the pool, or you can walk around the property in the afternoon,
So, like,
whatever you feel.
are there tea plantations? I guess Kenya is good at
There's no tea, there's coffee.
coffee. Okay, Kenya is
Yeah,
coffee.
yeah.
Okay, I thought it's tea. Okay,
Yeah, so they've got you won't be able to see any tea plantations around here, but this area is all coffee plantations.
yeah, that
And
means it
you
has a very good climate. Yeah,
Yes, so you will see that, and you will see the ground is that reddish color, and
yeah, yeah.
the coffee plants are growing everywhere. Your guide will no doubt make a few
Are
stops for
there
you.
chocolate? Are there cocoa factories, chocolate factories, kind of?
There are.
There are. Okay.
There are. We don't have one explicitly listed
Do
for your
they show
stop,
to the
but
public the process of making cocoa? Because in Sri Lanka they show to the public the process of making tea, the best quality tea. So this
I
climate is quite similar to that. And do they
yes.
show to the public the art of making cocoa or chocolate?
I believe we could set up a tour for you to do that. Yes.
Yeah, just like
The focus
wine
is
tasting,
definitely more around coffee in these areas
coffee.
because
Yeah.
the plantations that are surrounding this particular region of Tanzania are more coffee, but there are cacao farms not too far. So I'll just have to double check if there's any
Yeah,
within
my
reach.
relatives, relatives do coffee at home. Like they ground the coffee seeds and they do it. So I've seen it at close quarters, but I've not seen the actual cocoa producing stuff and chocolate producing stuff. So, yeah.
Okay, cool. Well, I will make note of that, and I'll let the guide know as well when you go
So
also.
our place has both coffee and tea
Oh,
plantations and coffee plantations.
I love that.
Mm.
Yeah, so then that'll be your first day getting out there, cultural experience, some coffee farming, all that. The
Mm.
next day you'll go out on your first true game drive. So you'll go into the Ngorongoro crater. Takes anywhere we say 50 to 60 minutes. It could be half an hour. It sort of depends on the traffic and what time of day you start. But you will drive up into the crater with your guide and descend down. You can see the walls all around it, and within you can expect to see these are the
That's
walls of the
pretty small.
crater. Yeah, and this is exactly the type of vehicle you'll have. It'll be enclosed so that when
The-
you're driving on the roads, you're not bothered by dust or
yeah, this is directly like out of the movie Ace Ventura.
yeah, exactly. So you can see it's a huge volcanic crater, and this area inside the crater there are no lodges or camps or anything like that. everyone has to drive into it. And there's this massive lake where you may have
So
lunch.
it's a crater lake.
It's
Okay.
there's a crater lake inside. You can see there's a hyena here,
Flamingo.
wildebeest, flamingo, lion, rhino, elephant. It's a cornucopia. You hopefully will see so many animals.
Okay, what happened to
Yes,
our migration springbok? So
yes,
that's okay.
those are coming.
Okay. That's
Those are
coming.
coming.
Okay.
Yes,
So that's
you actually
that's
you
quite fine with me.
yes. So you will see the impala or the other.
Impala. Okay. Mhm.
Yes,
There are so many vehicles around here with the names of animals here. Malibu, Impala.
yes,
I
yes.
guess Malibu is also an animal, right? Or did some
You'll
other?
probably see the springbok actually in the Victoria Falls area, because up here the animal they have, it's similar to a springbok, but it's called an impala.
Mhm.
It's just like the local species that's about the same size. Um, but in any way, you spend a full day in there with picnic lunch, exploring. It'll be amazing. And again, you have a private driver and guide, so he will be able to pace and move around however you want. If you want to take pictures of something, he'll drive and move the car over to the right place for you. uh, the next day, you will say farewell to this area, and we're going to drive you out to a very remote area of Tanzania called Lake Eyasi. And there are not a lot of people that go to Lake Eyasi. It's a very special place, and here is where the Bushmen live.
Awesome.
Yeah, so you'll get a chance to meet with them. We'll go on a walk with them, a small hike, and you can see here they live extremely traditional lives. They'll show you how they hunt and how they forage for medicines from the plants and what animals they use, the beetles and things like that to
So
make
do they have a like? Do we have translate? Okay, the translators.
Yes, your guide is going to be your translator. He'll be with you the whole time, so they'll be able to translate for you, and you'll spend a few hours interacting and exploring this area, and then you will return back to the same farmhouse lodge that night. So this day will be a very special experience culturally, and along the way you could see more wildlife along the roads, but
No, I'll be very
mostly
frank. I'll be
it's
very frank,
animals.
Hillary. Your current itinerary is even more elaborate, and it's more it has more coverage than what I proposed.
Oh, well, I'm glad to hear that. Well, just wait, it gets better.
It gets better. Okay.
Yeah. So from there,
Okay.
you and your same guide will drive out to the southern part of the Serengeti. And this is where the Great Migration will be amassing in March. And you hopefully, well, no doubt, will see many lions. This is one of the antelope, the impala that I mentioned,
Well, okay.
the impala that I mentioned. It's very closely related to the springbok. So these you will see all over the place. And this is where you'll spend the next few
Like I
days.
just love those trees of the savannah. You see those
Yes.
flat trees. Right? They
They're
just
called acacia.
acacia. Yeah.
Yes, and the giraffe and the elephant love to eat them, which is part of the reason why they're so tall,
Mm.
because the animals
Like
have eaten
when
away at the bottom.
so when I was a kid, whenever you draw a painting or something, you draw a savanna grassland with the acacia tree. It's very easy to draw. It's very picturesque.
Yes, yes. So you can see it's massive open plains.
Mm,
And in March, when you're there, it will be green. So it
mm,
won't be this brown
mm.
because the rains have come through. But
It'll be green,
because,
yeah. So
yeah,
even
but
better.
because
Yeah.
because it's greener, the lions will really pop. You'll see them a little easier. It'll be more like this. Yeah, this kind of.
So this
And
is
there's
Springbok.
your springbok again,
This is
and
Springbok. Okay, okay.
impala. And then there's a lake where you're going to be staying right next to your lodge. And
So the African elephant is very characteristic in the sense they have wide ears. You can see.
yes, they
Yeah.
do. Okay, just a quick note.
Mm.
Just got a beep. I was sorry. One of my colleagues is pinging me.
I'm sorry. Okay, sorry.
No, no, it's
Just
fine.
have
I'm
nine
just
more
letting
minutes.
them know I'm in a call. I can't speak. Okay, there we
Okay.
go.
Mm,
So yeah, this area is going to be amazing. We
mm.
also have scheduled for you to go on a hot air balloon ride,
Yeah, I
which will
can see a hot
be
air balloon there. Okay. Mm,
yes. And what we'll do is we'll schedule it for your first morning there,
mm,
just in case there's some issues with the weather. That way, if for some reason they have to cancel because it's too windy, you have a
mm.
second chance to go the next day. But
Fine.
you'll do it your first morning.
Mm.
Um, and
So what is the
yeah.
height we are reaching with a balloon?
Oh, good question. They go quite low actually.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So that
you
we can
want
have a better view of the class.
exactly, exactly. You may only be a few 100 feet off the ground
Mm,
at
mm,
most, and probably 50 to 100, 200 feet off the ground, I would
mm,
say.
mm.
Um, yeah, so the balloon safari is I don't know why I can't scroll down, but there are photos. I hope you can take a
So
look at
good
it
for
later.
still outing, shadow photography. Yeah.
Yeah, it's beautiful. And then finally, you will the guide that you've had here in Tanzania for the last several days will drive you to the local airstrip and drop you off. You'll take a bush flight and say goodbye to him.
Mm.
He'll take the vehicle back to Arusha where you started, and you will fly to Zanzibar. And when you get here, you'll set out for the hotel that you're going to be staying on. And as you can see, just enjoy a day of beautiful white sand beaches and stunning views. And uh, there's lots of things we could do here, depending on what you're interested in. I've listed a few ideas and some more information about them here. For now, I've only costed in just a day of relaxing because that, frankly, might be all you want to do is
So
wash off
so
the safari.
it's okay. It's just one day in Zanzibar. Okay, that's
For
not
now, I
much.
have one full day and 2 nights
Mhm.
because we are now at 16 days already.
Okay.
There's a lot to do. And let me just give you
I
a quick
I hope
map.
I hope Anna doesn't get bored of me at the end of 16 days.
No, yeah, well, I mean, this is as quick as I could do it
Okay.
while making it still
Because
enjoyable.
I tend to give so many trivias. Like even you might get bored. Like why are you giving so many trivias? I maybe I should keep my mouth shut.
I love it. No, it's great. Well, so just to backtrack and explain the last part of your trip, you started in Cape Town. We flew up to Victoria Falls, and then you flew all the way up to Kenya and Tanzania.
Okay, just show me the white sand beach. I've never seen it.
Yes. So let's go to the
Zanzibar.
accommodation. Yes. Okay. So hotels, by the way, we can also spend a lot of time talking about. The hotel that I recommend for you is the Zanzibar Residence at Zanzibar. And you can see they have little individual oceanfront villas. And we would be getting you into one of the villas. This is the common shared pool.
Yeah,
It's stunning. The food is fantastic, and you can see
it's like
it's
the Spanish architecture. Yeah.
yeah, or a little Moroccan, kind of
Moroccan.
Spanish
Okay.
Moroccan along the Mediterranean. Yes. And it's large enough that there's some energy and activity and, um, you know, some fun if you want it, but then intimate enough that you have, again, your own private room that opens up here out onto the beach. And
So
it
what
should
makes
be
it
fantastic.
like what gives the characteristic white sand for the beaches?
Gosh, that's a great question. I
So
don't
how many white
know.
sand beaches are there? Okay, how many white sand beaches are there in the world?
In the world,
Mm.
no
Is this
idea.
very unique or it's there are many?
How many white sand beaches are there? That's a great question. I think that there are many, but they often would say this is probably one of the top 10 to 20 in the world
Okay, the silica
on
is different.
Zanzibar. There's
Okay,
many.
okay.
I mean,
I ask such maybe I ask such nonsense. Like sometimes people get irritated. Okay, I can find it my like. Yeah, sorry for
there's no, I love it. It makes me think. I don't know, but all the beaches along the world, there's many options to choose from. But so where you are at this point is this little island
so
right here.
see, there is only one black beach in the entire world. It's in Iceland. So it's like characteristic, like the brown beach is white beach and the black beach.
I think there's more than one black sands beach.
There's more than one. Okay, I don't know.
Yeah.
I thought only Iceland
Uh,
has one.
I'm trying to think. I've been to one. We have one here in California.
California.
Yes, we do.
Okay,
Um,
it's like a volcanic a region. You have like fine. Okay, fine. So at the
sorry,
end
no.
of from Tanzania, like the trip ends in Tanzania. So from Tanzania back to US.
Yes. So, well, just real fast, I just want to point out where we've been. So you flew into Nairobi for that day there. Then you fly down to Arusha, which is here. And then we're basically making your way, and you can see I made a point so that you wouldn't be backtracking or zigzagging. But you're going to Kilimanjaro, which is up here, and then you make your way to the Ngorongoro crater, and which is around here, and then you're going to make your way all the way over to the Serengeti. And I just want to point out the Serengeti piece. So this dark gray section is the Serengeti.
Awesome. It's huge. Okay.
And it's huge, yeah. And you are the lodge I picked for you actually is just outside of the national park, and it's in this area is called the Ngorongoro Conservation Area, and
So how many? Yeah, sorry. How many lakes are there in the Great Lakes region?
in the Great Lakes in the U.S.
No, no, not in US. In Africa. Okay, in US there are five homes. We know that, but in Africa, how many lakes are there?
There's a lot. How many
There's a lot.
large lakes?
Okay.
Yeah, there's a lot.
So that's my acronym. Okay, that's my acronym.
Yeah, I mean, so like Lake Victoria is the closest one to you. You've got Lake Edward up here. You've got Lake Masek is where you're going to be.
Okay.
Yeah, you can see all these different waters body sources.
Hmm.
There's many, but you're relatively close to Lake Victoria, which is certainly enormous.
Huge, yeah.
You're going to be staying by this over here. There's a little lake right here. But the wildebeest migration, and I think this is important because you're not going into the national park proper, but that's okay because the migration basically is going to be going like this all year round. It goes like this. And at the time of year that you're going to be here, they're all here.
Okay, what is the motivation for migration in such
The
a food or?
motivation is this open area is all filled with grassy plains. And in the rainy season, this whole area is filled with grass and food for them to eat. So they have migrated south to this region where you're going to be to eat the grass. And it's open plain, it's warm. They give birth to babies, and hopefully you're going to see this when you're there. Lots of babies. So they're here for
Springtime
feeding.
babies. Okay, there's a book. Springtime babies as well. Yeah.
Exactly. And then the weather starts to change and it gets there's a very long rainy season and they start moving in this direction and there's some rivers up here and rivers up here and they start moving in this direction because they've eaten all the grasses here and they're coming up here to eat more grass that are fresh growing later in the year. And then as the grasses start to die and it becomes dry season, they head up to this region for rivers because they can access water. There's permanent water sources all year round. So they're up here from July, August, September, and then starting in October, it starts getting hot and humid. They start coming south and the rains start dropping again in November. And that's when they start making their way back to the grassy open plains for feeding. And it just goes round and round and round. Very hard to predict because, of course, climate change, unfortunately, and just you never know what the animals are going to do. They're very wild, but definitely in March they will be somewhere in this region, and you have excellent chances of seeing them from your hotel. And I do encourage you. I am going to have to hop off the phone here in the next few minutes, but I encourage you to click through the photos of the lodges so that you can see. Like I said, it tells you at the top the name of the hotel, where it is, and then more information. But the Masek Lodge, Lake Masek, where you're going to be for the Serengeti, here's what that one looks like. So you're right on the water. There will be wildlife here. There could be elephant walking by your tent. There could be lions running past. It's beautiful. It's tented, so you can hear the animals outside at night. It's super authentic and beautiful. And then they also have some little, luxury touches like a swimming pool to go hop in the hot of the day. And, you can see very careful attention to detail, great staff, beautiful views. This is all open wild land, which will have many, many animals all over. All the animals you could think of, you're going to be able to see here. It's spectacular. I'm really excited for you guys.
Yeah, that's pretty good. So, just the final, if you have 1 month,
Yes.
the last 2 days, that is the okay, what's I the residence Zanzibar.
Yes.
That's going to be day 15 and day 16. Can you go to the map and show me
Sure.
the last one, yeah, the last 2 days. I was a bit not concentrating
I know it's
properly.
a lot of information.
Yeah, I'm
So
sorry I did not do
oops.
groundwork because
No,
I was
you're
involved in
doing
some
great. I,
activities for somebody. Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah.
it's okay.
So,
My job here is to help you. You don't need to do all the extra work. I'll do it for
so
you.
yeah. So
So we finished here in the Serengeti, and then you're going to get on a plane, a little bush plane, tiny plane, and you're going to fly out to Zanzibar. When you get here, the town is called Stone Town. And you can see the reefs and all the beaches in this photo. But Stone Town is right here where this word Zanzibar and the star is, or sorry, down here. It's right over here. So you'll fly in, and you'll immediately, the plan right now is to just drive down to the southern part of the beaches to get you out to your white sand beaches. And this region is great. It's beautiful. There's
it looks
lots
awesome.
of beaches all along the shore. We could look at other hotels if you want, but up here, some good options too. It just depends on availability and pricing,
Okay, yeah, this
I
kind of
think
gives us, yeah,
this
this
is
kind of gives us the feeling of Maldives, Seychelles, and Mauritius. So it's pretty good.
yeah. Yeah, and then if you want to do some extra stuff, there's this little forest right here called Jambiani and sorry, not Jazani, Jazani. I'm getting mixed up. Jazani is right here. There's a little rainforest that you can go explore monkeys. They
Yeah.
do spice tours where you can taste the local food. The town of Zanzibar has some interesting activities as well. But from your lodge, we could set up for you to go out on a sailing cruise for the day and go snorkeling out in the, out to one of the nearby islands and reefs. You can see here this everything's submerged. That's all reef with beautiful snorkeling possibilities. There's a lot to do here, and even just relaxing on the beach and sleeping in and playing in the splashing in the water is more than enough. So, yeah, I mean,
Yeah, it's
what I
awesome.
would love is if maybe you and Anna could chat through the itinerary and let me know, what you think.
Yeah,
I'm
it's
taking
pretty
my
awesome. See,
exclusive.
I'll be very frank. I'll be very frank. What is happening now? There are some sweet struggles in terms of finances. It's a temporary struggle, but next week onwards it will be very stable, and then Anna would be very open to speak about all
Okay.
these things. Now the reason why she's not speaking very openly is she doesn't want me to take all the financial burden now. She's very considerate for me. I understand that, but I have given the assurance that everything would be proper and we would start the booking, and we could
Yeah.
start planning. Yeah.
Well, before we even get to booking, maybe just let me know if there's anything we can change. For example, the price for this trip is right here.
Mm.
It's clearly a little more than we talked about when you first reached
That's fine.
out.
See, Anna's. I
Um,
told you Anna's priceless. So anything for the experience for Anna. So this is going to last for a lifetime. So this has to be very good. Yeah.
I completely understand. But that said, if you would like to add anything, like an extra
Okay.
day in Victoria Falls or an extra
So
day in
no, no, no. I'm just
Zanzibar,
asking you
we can do that.
as a person who. I'm just asking you as a person who plans honeymoon trips. Is this a good duration, or very long, or very short, or how?
I think this is pretty average
Uh,
for American travelers. I would say sometimes European travelers go even longer, but we don't work with a lot of Europeans. So for us, I'd say a 12 to 16, 18-day trip is definitely normal.
Correct. Okay.
And I think that you will find, based on your interests, that I mean, this covers everything that you're interested in.
Yeah, it
If
covers
if
everything.
you want to get the cost down, there's a couple things we could do. We could, maybe remove um, Victoria Falls or remove Cape Town or remove one of the regions. Like you could skip the Ngorongoro Crater, but I don't think I would because you can visit those cultures that you're so interested. I think you have to keep Zanzibar. You have to keep the Serengeti. You have to keep the crater, and maybe the other pieces we change a little bit if you want.
No,
That's
Victoria has to be there.
okay.
uh,
Victoria has to be there too then.
Cape Town. The reason why Cape Town is we have penguins and we have
The
a
city,
winery and stuff like that. It's more like
yeah.
European. Yeah.
But again, if that's not as important, then I'd say maybe we could remove Cape Town, and you'll still get the beautiful beaches and the wildlife. And you could save this for another trip. There's lots to do in Southern Africa. Maybe a way to keep the cost down would be to just focus on East Africa. Turn this into, sorry, I'm clicking around too fast. I'm trying to get to this page. We could do just everything from
East
here
Africa.
down,
Or not from Victoria Falls.
Yeah, you could go Victoria Falls and skip Cape Town. I mean, there's lots of ways to play with it if you
Okay,
need to take the car for a
what is
while.
the additional cost with Cape Town?
I would have to go back and check for you.
Yeah, okay, like let's say if it is less than $2,000, it's still fine.
Okay.
Or even less than $3,000, it's still fine.
Okay.
Or 2,000. Or let's see. Okay,
Yeah,
yeah,
I mean,
just give me one option with that. But I'll just go through the Cape Town itinerary, and I'll see if are we missing something, or can we plan for another trip? Because we never go to Africa a lot, because it's not a business destination, and it's not a transit destination as well, because Anna's home is in Moldova, and my home is here, and we might be switching around. We were traveling around Europe and US, but there's no possibility of we going to Africa again. So that's why I'm trying to make the most of this particular trip, because we never know whether we'll be able to go to Cape Town again or not.
I understand. Well, it's a beautiful trip. I hope that it all comes together for you. In
Okay,
terms,
I don't want to take much time
sure,
of
no
you. Like,
problem. Just keep me posted. If you, why don't I'll plan to reach out next week,
hmm.
maybe Tuesday or Wednesday, and just say hi. How's it going? What do you think?
Hmm.
And you can let me know if I can do any more work for you. Looking forward to
This
hearing what
seems
Anna thinks.
this no this seems perfect. We just have to plan the air travel. So apart from that, everything's perfect.
Okay, great. Well, thank you for the time and have fun planning all the wedding and the honeymoon and everything.
I just have a look at the our website,
I'm
and
going
you
to.
could you could also give your inputs there. Yeah.
Oh, I can't wait to see it. Yeah, I'm going to look
Thank
right away.
you. Bye.
All right, well, take care. Thanks for your time.
Bye.
Bye.